Greetings, screens and meters. Notice you checked with collected comparisons, and today we're going to be checking out Perukill / KO Perikins, aka BLS Toys01 or Visual Toys01 if you guys have seen it. But with that being said, screens and meters, let's go. Everybody. Screens and meters, like I said, this is a comparison, and to your left you will have to see that this is Perukill, and to the right you will actually have to see that this is not KO Perukill or whatever of the sort of the CiiC, whatever the deal maybe you want to see, whatever the deal may be. Yes, and there now you can see the figures right now right next to each other, and I actually had to leave one of the rear view mirrors, one of the figures rear view mirror to be back, was to be able to tell the difference between both of them. But as you can see, the comparison between the gloss black versus the matte black, and right here is kind of hard for these parts to fit into place and stuff. I'm not sure because this has certain joints or whatever, but when I first transformed this, I did hear a loud snap, so I don't know if I broke anything in that. Just want to let you know that right quick. So yes, and you guys can completely see the difference. Like I said, I prefer the BLS toys better than I do the one on the bottom, because it does have that gloss black. But in the movie, if you guys remember the scene when they was actually at that warehouse / construction site, when Perukill was actually chasing down, or Lockdown was actually chasing down Optimus Prime, and the agents was chasing down the people. This here was more of the finish when he laid down his weapon on the guy, and it's just more favorable in my honest opinion to me. That's just pretty much about it. But the gloss black is no slouch. It does have much more metal pieces. You can feel it, and you can feel the difference in weight for both of them. And it does have a little bit more trimmer and cut as far as figure wise goes with which what you're looking at. And it is really pretty cool how, saving the difference of the price and the money, and how it just ends up being and stuff. And I'll let this shine just hit that real quick on both of them and stuff. And they're almost extremely identical. I mean down to the right to the bottom. And I really appreciate that. The biggest issue that I have, that I don't know if you guys have this on the same thing with your figures, is this one here tends to stick up a little bit more, and that's because the head here is not popping right in the right place. I did have that same issue here, but eventually after a few times I transformed it did end up going into the right place. And I don't know what I'm doing here and stuff, because all this here is snapped back in place. But again, it could have been a loud pop that I heard, but it is what it is from there on in. So yeah, so you screen as you can see what is going on right now and stuff. You have more of a shiny, and then you have more of a little flat finish on this as far as the brake lights go. In the front here you have more of a trimmer cut, in my honest opinion, over here to the left, and then here you have more of a kind of like just shave, mimicking pop into place, and everything. And then those are differences as far as the quality goes and stuff. And I'm not going to tell a lot of you screens and meters before we go any further. You're really not going to miss it, because I'm telling you, this matte finish, and for the cheaper the price, you really can't beat it. All right, with that being said, screens and meters, let's go and look at the rearview mirrors. So on the side there, see, I can focus a little bit. See how it is, where one has a kind of a little paint job goes, whereas the other one doesn't, to kind of give that rear view shine. I do prefer this over here. And if you guys are wondering and questioning, and you want to know how much it goes down to the dimensions, and you actually want to actually know, yes, the ports do actually fit into one and the other. So I mean, just so much so. And I'm as reversed like that because I just need to know what side I actually do them on, as far as versus like trying to keep them whatever. I'm trying to keep them to one as far as the pieces and accessorized and everything go and all that stuff. So with that being said, screeners and media, let's go ahead and get to the accessories, which I'm just going to actually go right there and stuff, and you can actually see where the accessory goes in that form. The other things I've done with a slight review as far as the comparison, again, like I said, like a slight review on that. All right, and that's going to be right about, let's put it in the front right here, like, you know, pull it up right about now. Okay, screen meters, and here is both of them with the blasters actually on the car. Yes, I know it looks ridiculous, but if you saw Lamborghini coming down the street with a blaster of that size coming down the street, I guarantee you will move out the way. Plus, it'll be driving so fast, you probably be kind of scared. You probably just be spooked by it. I said it once, I say it again, and I keep on saying it as much as it is. Whatever. Okay, and then this is what they look like right next to each other. front, or you know, I mean back to back. I'm sorry. And there they are. Sorry about that. Back to front, front to back. And again, screeners and mirrors, the amount of money you save on one versus the other one is just uncanny, and it's just extremely cool, and you're really not missing anything. You have a few things different than the one than the other, but able to carve that amount out of this versus this is it. This does have its faults though. This inner thigh piece that comes out doesn't lock better this place as it does as this one. But again, at the same time, screeners and mirrors, you're really not gonna miss it. I mean, you have also inside color breaks, and I mean that's just pretty much awesome. I mean that is really cool. So, all right, we'll see about. All right, that was the blasters. Now let's check out the seeds. Here are the seeds, and they're extremely exactly identical, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think about it just for a second. Here has a little bit of orange inside there, so the end of the coat probably is orange. I actually get that deeper silver look, kind of like a little hinge to it. Red, if you guys can see right in there. I don't know if that's coming up on camera. It probably is. I hope it is. And that's it. But this is the one that actually comes with Perukill and stuff. It's about the same amount of weight, and it's probably the same identical one. That's pretty much about it and stuff. I mean, why are you going to sit there and go to the great lengths of actually something so small you're going to go back and, you know, spend more money on or whatever the deal may be, or just to try to make it look a little bit more or less that there in. Make sure I keep which side to what side, which one. All right, let's go and check out the mask. All right, and if you can see right here in the masks are a little different, just a tad bit, and you see that gloss to the left sits more with the original Perukill versus it having a knockoff. It looks like it still might be the same undercoat color for the green for the front, but if you guys can see that there, if it's picking up on camera, I hope it is, that the masks are extremely identical, and then they have one color versus the other one, and I think that's pretty cool. That works well, you know, well so too, and they are interchangeable. I probably won't go into that, but they're the same exact hinge and stuff. I mean, right down to the facial mask, I believe they're the same. They would have the same undercoating like molds as far as the problematic parts or whatever you want to do maybe, or the molds that's, you know, breakable parts or whatever it may be, and like the same distance as far as inserts go. So same on that. So with that being said, screeners and mirrors, let's move on to the grapple hook. And again, this almost looks like it comes down to finishes. It looks like it's about the same, and I call it a hook or weapon hook or a rash with the same stuff, but it does like it's, you know, it's like a fishing hook, so to speak, and stuff. You know, this one feels a little bit more solid than this one does. But at the same time, it is pretty much the same thing. This one here looks like it might be looks like it might be a push pin thing for both. Yeah, to cap it off on both sides. And the finish looks more so, you can see it better on this side than that, but the finish is to go and stuff, so you can tell a slight change. And then there's different ports of plugs in right there, and then that's pretty much about it with that. So with that being said, let's get into the Steeljaws. Oh my goodness. Alright, screeners and mirrors, and this is where they rage war against difference, and I guess I'll go ahead and do the height, which I didn't do the height in Lamborghinis wise, but we're going to go right now and look, because I didn't do this before. But anyways, enough of that. About 3.5 inches right there and stuff with the hounds, and they absolutely look great. Doesn't matter which one you have. I call the one to the left, the silver one, Alpha, just because it goes along with the Steeljaw thing and whatever deal may be. And then these over here are the other ones, as far as whatever. And like I said, this one came with 3 with that KO Perukill, and this came with 1. I don't know the difference of why or whatever the deal may be. I saw 2, I believe, in the purchase, but then it ended up coming with 3. I am not complaining. I am not complaining whatsoever. So with that being said, screeners and meaners, let's go ahead and get these 2 Perukills, the KO and the real one, third party, transformed. Quick, I know I didn't do the measurements, so you guys can see right there from the front of the vehicle to the back. It's about 2-inch. Like there, go, pretty cool. Yes, and 2.5 inches. Nope, no, 2 inches. Sorry. And below, so you see where that kind of goes in right there. Stuff. See right there on the scale. Scale. See right there, the size right there. Yeah. Anyways, okay. All right. That's saying. Let's go and get transformed now. Okay, screeners and meters, and here they are. Perukill and KO Perukill transform, and I must say they look absolutely awesome. I mean, it just seems it's just they're almost extremely identical, and I had to take advantage of actually putting them side by side and standing like that because they look like they might have their own separate identity. On the left, this is a real one we know about, or the one that is out there, Perukill. Then the one here with Visual Toys / BSL Toys01 figure to the right, and they look absolutely great. So with that being said, screens and meters, let's get into a pose. I'm not going to sit there and take up too much time as far as trying to switch them around because I know they have their little joints and stuff here and there, but let me just go and get them side by side and so we can actually get to the real comparison of them both. Okay, screens and meters, if I had a theory about these figures, I would say that Visual Toys and probably BSL either was trying to actually go for trying to buying the rest of the stock or whatever they may have in for this Perukill to put it on out there and to make it for a cheaper price and found a cheaper way to cut corners and just to put it out there, or they just basically was trying to, you know, mimic as best as they can of the company, or either bought portion of this when they was getting ready to maybe discontinue whatever problems that this may have had that they was looking to put out a new one. I don't know if it's a reissue thing or whatever, but honestly these things are simply identical to each other. I mean, we can go to a side by side. I mean, you can see different right down to the finish in the mold, and then you have to the gloss and everything. Let me actually switch this arm around so you actually can see exactly where it comes down to it. So you can see right there where they have those perfectionists or have those issues, so to speak, with both of them. And also too, to let you know, just to bring this up here, these parts here, this one's metal and this here is plastic. So there's much more parts you feel more solid on this, but here you feel like things may break, but it's easier to transform, and they still have their same issues. So that's why I said that they may have that where they kind of bought like a stock type of thing. So here, this part's a metal. Those are both metal. And this is no, actually this might be metal itself. Yeah, actually now that I feel it, it is metal. I thought it was plastic, but it's not. But it does have the same problems as the upper thigh right here. If you guys see it when you're transforming as far as clicking out, but this here just breaks out to the back to actually fill into that little gap the way it does on the figure. Excuse me. And here you have on this side and stuff. I almost got that to the way it should be. And again, you see right here the hands into the arm, into the legs and stuff. I mean, it's just they're just simply awesomely just the same. I mean, it's simply amazing. I mean, that's the upper body. We're getting closer to the figure's face and stuff. And we're going to go to that. And what we're going to do is try to get in closer and actually see if we can get them down a little closer to the camera at that point and try to see if we can block out the back a bit. All right. All right, and you can see right here that silhouette or the reflection from the lights onto them. You can see how they show up and still have that kind of that shine, that gleam to it. I'm gonna leave it there for a second so you can actually just kind of look and kind of see where they both have their little nooks and crannies at. And basically comes right down to the finish. This has more of a matte finish. This has more of a gloss finish, and I do prefer the matte over the gloss because in the movie he was more of a matte finish than a gloss. So I do believe that they did have a reissue color of him, which has some trimmed in gold that might be a matte finish. I don't remember too much. I just saw it up for a few months or so, and I think that was back in maybe August or July, if you will, or maybe even September, but that was a little eBay thing, but it is what it is from there on in. So screens and me, let's go and get in close and kind of take a look at them as such. All right, you put the head up here, put them both in here, we can, and you can see right now, you see where this has like a little bit more trim around the head here, and this one here has a little bit more of a more of the finish that goes along with the vehicle itself, but it's not as much. But this one here looks more like him in the movie because these little pieces here that's kind of like just finished out brings his eyes out more rather than the gloss blend it in and having that finish. And to me, I think that makes a very big, huge difference in my honest opinion. So I'm pretty sure the knockoff version nailed it, or we guess we can call them a knockoff version until this time. And I mean, you just look at it where you see the little, it kind of just fades into it as far as his eyes go. This here is much more defined because you can see his eyes, how it works out much more better in my honest opinion. That's just me. Anyways, you can actually look at the chest plate where they both just, I mean, it just fits so much. I know I said in their review before about the colors being like just having more color in the in the chest part area, but honestly this here is the same. It's just this was blocking it. I really couldn't see it that well, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, just as perfection of a figure. I mean, this is probably what a Transformer or anything of Masterpiece should be. I mean, the MP10s, all the rest of them and stuff. These figures, I mean, just amaze me so much because of how it transforms out of the car into this, into all of this, and then it transforms back. So I think they nailed it. In my honest opinion, I don't know if I could say anything wrong about this figure, but anyways, major things that you guys got to put out for to make sure if anybody has this figure, and I don't know if it's just a time thing or whatever, this left leg is loose. That is something that I've noticed on both of them. the left leg is much more loose than the right leg is. Right leg is much more sturdy. It could be both my copies. I don't know if it's just a thing, but it does happen to be kind of loose on that point. But I mean, it is what it is in that. But yeah. So anyways, let's go and finish this up, and let's get into this face mask and actually get the full breakdown and actually see what they happen to be between the both of them. Let's try to get them set up here, back them up, and just get that going on. So let's finish this out. Let's finish out and everything, and put on their face masks and see what that goes. Okay, screeners, meters, here they are. Perukill and KO Perukill, and both of their weapons having in their hands the hooks, the grab hook or the hunting hook, or whatever you want to call it, the bounty hook or whatever, and then the mask on. And you can actually just see how that looks. And the hooks are simply identical. Still closed, comes out the blade on the stabbing part on the other side. And let's bring in the KO version and the way that looks. And I mean, the figures both are just sheer perfection in my honest opinion. I mean, just that look that it had for the movie, and it goes along with it and stuff. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if they even did a backstory. I don't know if they can do that with the new Bumblebee movie, if they're gonna have to cross any of course they would have to have some designs not be the same. There's a reason why you see Bumblebee as a Volkswagen and not a Camaro. Very interested to see how that's going to work out in the future and stuff. But it's charming none the least, anyways, of the speak. Anyways, all right. So that being said, that's done with there. Let's check out the sniper blasters. Okay, screeners, meters, and here they are. Both blasters on them. And they're not in a very secure manner. I know there's a better way to actually put it secure and stuff. I just kind of had their head backwards, just sitting on there. I'll show you that in just a second. And they look absolutely stunning. I just, it's just really cool, how it all just comes together. And I guess I'll show you this one first. Or I'll show you one versus the other one. I just have it sitting in there, just a quick way to do it, probably even with some stop motion, whatever. But the mask has to be off, and what you want to do is kind of like just sit it on the back here. And I don't know if this is the right way to do it or not, because I actually never looked at instruction manuals on how to do it. I just been kind of just having it sit there or whatever. But I have the mask turned backwards. I'm pretty sure the slot's supposed to go right into there or whatever. But I guess the easy way to do it is actually put it there where you can kind of like tilt it back and put it around. But that doesn't matter. We're not worried about it right now. I just wanted to show you guys that, guys and girls, that. So put it to the side there. And yeah, so these figures is just, I mean, just really cool, just really awesome, just really neat. I mean, this I don't know really else what to say about them. I mean, this is simply astonishing how you have both of them that can do this, and it's I mean, the company, if they're two separate companies that can do the same thing on both both just kind of having it there, I would have to say I would give them just huge props, just really huge props. Also, too, just a side note, Perukill has so many different stuff, on his shoulder, and he has this space here where you actually can have the blaster sitting on his shoulder. You can have that there. I mean, there's probably a better way to doing it, but you can just have it sitting there on his shoulder just to make it seem, you know, like a lot of the, you know, masterpieces, they'll have the, you know, shoulder mounted blaster. Just a side note, just want to put it out there, just want to say it. Okay, that's it. All right, treaters and meaners, let's go again to the Steeljaws. And this one is the one that hurts the most. I'm sorry, it just is. Let's go. Okay, screeners and meaners, and here it is. We are fully complete. This probably marks everything there is until I get into my own little mocks at the end. And I must say, screeners and meaners, you get all this. Everything, the seed, the blade, everything, all this for under $60. This here, I'm pretty sure reissued, it may end up being maybe $120 at best, but it's $160. So $100 difference, and you get all this. Worst case scenario, if you had to sit up there and take this and you wanted to make the Alpha Steeljaw, if you wanted to do that with this, you could actually use these and just take one of them and just paint it, and you can actually trim it out the way you want to. And that's pretty much about it. It could probably even have something like Repro label. I haven't checked them in a while, and you know, I got to get both my sticker game stuff because I have some Repros here that I have not gotten into, which I hope I'll be able to get in 2018. But I'm just sorry, this wins by far. There is a part this gets loose, but I will appreciate that get loose over time because it was difficult at first, but after a few times I transformed them, it feels more on point, in my honest opinion. But at the same time, you are losing nothing. If not, you'll be gaining if you happen to go with this version of Lockdown. It's just simple as that. And the thing you're going to be looking out for is called Visual Toys or BSL Toys. It'll say Visual Toys 01 or BSL Toys 01. And I'm pretty sure they're going to have more. They might even do a prime. I don't think they're going to do it at this level of perfection. But at the same time, again, whatever. I'm hoping that they might even do a hot ride. But again, at the same time, I am really looking forward to see what else this company has in their pocket. If at all. If there's two companies, or maybe there is a smaller company that they started to just have these toys kind of make certain things to kind of keep it going on with the reissues and stuff. So as simple as that. Okay, screeners and meaners, I have something I would like to add and show you because I actually was waiting to actually do this comparison for quite some time. So with that being said, screeners and meaners, let's move all this out the way and get into my mocks of weapons that I made for Perukill and KO Perukill now. Greetings, screeners and meaners, in addition to Check It If Collected mocks. And we are looking at Perukill today in KO Perukill. And I just want to show this out right quick and stuff. And this is an extension of another video, but also keep it its own separate video. Because if you don't want to see the rest of that stuff, you can just check this part out. With that being said, screeners and meaners, let's go. Okay, screeners and meaners, if you guys are familiar with this these here are an old school Transformers weaponry that was used, and also these are also from another knockoff of Transformers, I think Transbots or whatever the deal may be, and I got them out of a store. I think it was Big Lots, if I'm not mistaken, or some other store or whatever the deal may be, to actually have them and stuff. They're very hard to find if you happen to see them, and they have different versions and stuff, but Sir Toys do have them. What they are, or who cares, I can't really tell you. But this looks very similar, if I'm not mistaken, to Weird Wolf or Wired Wolf tail or his sword or his weaponry. With that being said, these are some molds from, I want to tell you, 2007. Yes, it is just that old. I actually looked this up and I could not find, I did see a picture online and the figure actually had this from that long ago, whatever, from that me, it's whatever at this point in time. But the reason why we're here, we're not going to sit there and go in here because of this. We're going to be in there because of this. Now, I told you guys the dimensions that they generally tend to use are very similar, and you will probably happen to see these and see that they will figure. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, you're gonna probably stump over a lot because you're probably gonna end up purchasing a lot of things that you think's gonna fit, doesn't fit, it may fit on something else. With that being said, what we're going to do is take these and put these over there, just like that. All right, look at this. And you can see it fit exactly in there perfectly. Like I said, these came off of a knockoff figure, and it had an array of different weapons inside there, and one of them was these blades. And I actually looked at them as I had them on my shelf, and I said, hey, you know, it was they had a Ferrari, let's see, a Ferrari GT in there, and there was also a Bugatti. I don't know if it was a figure, but it was 4. It's 2 and 2. It might have been even 3 if I'm not mistaken. In there, was a total of 6 figures inside of the box, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but it's at least 4. I can tell you that. But if you happen to see this weaponry, hopefully the dimensions will be with their match and stuff. I'm pretty sure some knockoff companies probably go with trying to, you know, stick their own, but that's it. But again, this piece here fits directly right into the port here slot for where Perukill has his hook. And the thing about this is this goes all the way around almost with no slack whatsoever, and it's really cool because you can have something different that really doesn't take away too much color, that you can customize the way you want to itself. And this is not so much of a mock myself. This is something that I actually have to find that actually works well with Perukill, and he will probably have that until I can actually get the upgraded blade that he had from the movie for his weapon when he was actually fighting against Optimus Prime at the end. But with that being said, screeners and meaners, I'm not gonna give away all my secrets. Listen, hey, you're probably upset, you're probably whatever deal may be, but at the same time, have to use these, put the core value of them and put them into stop motions. As simple as that. I mean, from there on in, you can see it, whatever deal, but by that time, I can, go and just, say, hey, look, did it this far, I got it, whatever deal, maybe that's it and stuff, because I can't give away all my secrets. I gotta keep them dear to me. And that's pretty much about it. So, okay, screeners and meaners, sub me if you love me, share if you care, do what you do as long as you do it well. JRL Network, and I am out. Stay tuned to see what's next. Later.